Hello, everyone. My name is Ben, and I'm the Creative Services Coordinator at Addison Public Library. Welcome to the first episode of Our Friends in Addison, where we talk to different residents and businesses around our town just to get to know one another and remind each other that we're part of a living, breathing community. Today, I'm going to talk with Matt Green, the VP of Marketing at Corky's Catering. We're going to find out more about his business and more about him as a person. So, come on and join me in getting to know our friends in Addison.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, well, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about the business that you work for really quick before we get started? The name and what you guys do.
Sure. My name is Matthew Green. I work with Corky's Catering. We are a family-run catering company. I'm the VP of marketing here, so I manage all the marketing. A couple of years, I actually stepped down in the company to have my mom come in, and like I said, we're a family-run business, so my mother is the CEO of the company, and I help support her and do all the marketing. We have been, just to kind of get into that first question, Corky's was started in 1978 by my father, Edward Green, in Bensonville. And 12 years later, we moved to Addison in 1990, where we're at 1421 West Fullerton over in the industrial area. And we've been here since.
Do you know what made them want to get into this line of work or what made them want to start this particular business venture?
It's actually a pretty funny story. And there was no necessarily direct link to it. My father he had done some weird jobs. He was in the marketing industry. He ended up, I think his two jobs before this was he was selling TV magic, which is an old 50s thing that you'd sell these little magic tricks. Then he came up with two toy companies, one with a crazy long translucent kite, and then these very dangerous kind of like lawn dart game, strange thing. And then somehow he ended up in the catering world when he came to Chicago because there was very little competition.
So, Matt, what do you consider to be your favorite part of working for Corky's Catering?
I would have to say it is definitely the entertaining portion of it. I think you're born with that bone in your body. It's just one of those things. You either love to entertain or you don't. And there's something incredibly gratifying about watching somebody eat your food or have an amazing time at an event. And they just kind of like look at you in disbelief, like, how did you make this happen? For me, that's really the sweet spot. I think that's why we're here.
That are trying to do the same thing in the same market.
So we've designed packaging that will literally hold our food hot for up to 4 hours. And that's how we test our food. We don't take it out of the fryer or the oven and say, oh, this is delicious, this is great, because we know the customer is not going to have that same experience. Right. And let me tell you, if you guys ever get a chance to come to Corky's, you should try it because it's incredible. But we do realize that's not part of what we can ultimately provide because the customer is not sitting here. We don't have a restaurant. We're a catering company, a strictly catering company. So the product that we test, we leave it in a box for 4 hours, open it up and taste it. And if it doesn't taste good to us, to our standards, it doesn't get on the menu. And I think that's one of the big things that we do is that we ensure that our food really stays warm and comes to you the way it should. Even with our boxed lunches, not our boxed lunches, our family meals that we've pivoted to right now, we are using our hot and cold bags. So when somebody comes and does a delivery for you, you've got a cold white bag of your cold. So it might be your potato salad, or you decided to get your mastacholi cold because you want to save it for a couple days later. You're going to get a cold bag, and then your food's actually going to be brought in a hot bag that's designed to keep it warm until your delivery. So your delivery driver is going to take that out, put it into the cold bag with the other food. But just so you know, so the customer doesn't know this or see this, but your hot and cold food never sit together like you do when you go to a restaurant.
So I want to talk briefly about the COVID-19 crisis that we're all facing together right now. What is Corky's doing differently to compensate for all these new challenges that we're coming up against?
Ultimately, what this came out was is we had to pivot real quick. We had to come up with a restaurant concept. So we've created what we're calling our family meal packs. So our family meal packs feed 4 people. They're designed around a family. You can add on more. You can add on a la carte entrees or a la carte sides. So anything that you see in our menus plus a little extra is available. We've set up online ordering. So traditionally with Corky's, you needed to give us 3-day notice. Now you can literally, during the service hours, which are 11 to 1:30 and 4:30 to 7:30 nightly, Monday to Friday, you can call us up or jump online, place an order, and your food will be ready in half an hour to an hour, which in 42 years we've never done. So that's a really, I have to congratulate the team for figuring out how to do that. I had very little to do with it other than some menu suggestions and some conceptual ideas. But our team here has come together and really, figured it out, and we're constantly trying to figure it out. On the other end, we have maintained what we're calling our box lunch services, and we are looking to expand on that. So I definitely, personally, I see the market space moving towards real single serve. And I think it's going to be something prevalent in not only box lunch style meals, but also in dinners. And I think I think everybody's gonna have to pivot into that atmosphere.
So, Matt, we've talked a lot about Corky's and the crisis that we have going on right now. Tell us about a little bit about you. I want to find out about Matt, who works for Corky's Catering. So, besides Corky's, which I know is definitely your favorite place in Addison, hands down, what are some other places that you love to visit or that you like to spend time at in the community?
We've been here a bit. So, I've got my favorite spots for different things. My father, it was a funny story. My father actually tried to boycott Serino's for a few years because they got into the catering game. But we've always loved their food so incredibly much. I think that lasted like 3 months after that happened. And
And you gave up.
I just remember like, Dad, let's go get it. Let's get the meatball panino. Come on, it's so good. It's Friday. Let's cheat day. Come on. And he's no, I won't do it. They're catering now. That guy got into our industry, and I'd say, come on, Dad. And finally, he just gave in. But Serino's is one of our favorites. Dapper's is always another fun, amazing, just little piece of Addison history that we love. The police department, the fire department, those guys have always been really incredible to us. We do have the occasional false alarm, and when we have extra food, we try and donate to them. We try and give back to that in that manner of a community. What is it? Mediterranean, new restaurant that opened, I think, like 2-3 years ago. Absolutely love that space. Again, another small local guy, does great stuff. Those are mainly my spots where I like to venture into.
So what does life look like for Matt Green outside of Corky's Catering? What do you like to do in your spare time?
Good question. Free time. My wife is a Pilates instructor, so we are throughout this over the last year, we've been looking to launch that business on a subscription base, and then this all happened. So we, like the rest of the world, have pivoted to a Zoom style teaching. So we've built something called the Tall Tree Cooperative, and it's going to be something that's launching in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a collective of yoga, high intensity training, Pilates. We're doing sort of some unique stuff. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun things in that department. But personally, I've got a 3-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old daughter. So there's lots of dance parties. There's lots of tickle time. But I'd say probably the nicest thing that's been going on lately is my 8-year-old daughter has started to show a little shine into my fishing. I bass fish, and we live on a small lake. So we've got a little little boat that we can go out on. And she got tired of the old bobber and bread and peanut butter or bread and a worm or something like that. And she said, Daddy, I want to learn how to cast like you. And it was like my heart just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard outside of I do for my wife. But yeah, my daughter wanting to go bass fishing with me was like monumental.
So Matt, if you could do anything in the world besides marketing at Corky's Catering, if you could switch careers with no penalty, what would you want to do?
No penalty.
Just, you know, like you don't have to worry about making money, you know, like just imagine that you could do anything you want and survive essentially. What's the one thing you would want to do for a living?
You know, I think outside of the traditional children's answer, which is, you know, astronaut, race car driver, things like that. I really like the leadership world. I find it really amazing to be able to help people find the answers within themselves. And I think there's something to be said about helping people reform their life, the idea of helping other people. But I think that's why I'm in the catering world anyway. Like, we're essentially helping people. We're helping people be fed, build community, build meetings, build relationships. And we might just be the food that's on the table, but when it's good, it makes a difference. And it does. It really does. Because when you get bad food, you just spend your time talking about how bad the food is. But when the food's really good, spend a little bit of time talking about it, but you get back to business. And that's what we want to do. We want people to get back to business. We want people to be able to communicate and enjoy our food, give us a little bit of thanks at the end, and go about their day.
Well, Matt, it's been really good talking with you and getting
Thanks
to
for
learn more
having me.
about you and the business and what you guys are doing nowadays. Is there anything else that you want to say to let people know? Anything you want to end with to leave in people's minds?
You know, I would say number one, you know, please, if you have not tried Corky's Catering, we now offer family meals. We are providing the service not only hot but cold, meaning you want dinner for tonight hot, but you want to pick up a couple extra meals so you can throw in the fridge and eat throughout the week, or throw in the freezer and eat in a week's time or a little later. Give it a shot, because we've designed this around you. We have really focused on eliminating as many touch points as possible to really make sure that you're safe. We are taking the utmost care with your food, and nobody's allowed in our building, period. Like, other than the 4 people who have to make it run. But we are a 21,000 square foot warehouse that is, so we have the ability to really keep people separate too, which is great for you guys, for the customer. But we want, you know, our biggest challenge right now is we're a 42-year-old catering that just had to pivot to a restaurant concept. We would love the people of Addison to give us a shot. We're offering free delivery right now. Every meal comes with 4 home-baked chocolate chip cookies that are cooked the day of, just as a little way of saying thank you for giving us a shot. But we need your support, you know, without sounding like we're begging. We really do need your support. We need people to give us a try. If you can, donate. If you can't donate, share the message. But I think that's the big thing that we ask is, like I was saying earlier, if you see a local restaurant post something on Facebook, when you see your Aurelio's or your pizza guy post something that he's got a special going on today, help him out. Post it, share it. We need your support. So get out there, share, like, buy the food, be safe. Remember, wash your hands.
Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. It was great getting to know you and getting to learn more about Corky's Catering. For now, I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm sure I'll see you around Addison sometime soon. Or, you know, hopefully soon at least.
Take care, Ben. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank everyone that took the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed the conversation that Matt and I had today. And you know, maybe the next time you're feeling hungry, consider stopping by Corky's Catering, or any of the other local businesses here in Addison, because right now really is the most important time to support local businesses, especially if we want them to stick around once the crisis that we're all facing is over. So, thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you next time for the next episode of Our Friends in Addison.